I had no clue. I did not know this, y'all. Signs of insulin resistance. Oh my gosh. Some of them I'm like, what? This has been happening for years. I was so upset, so livid when I found out that I had been educated wrong, that there were so many things that I needed to pay attention to. And if I would have just paid attention to them a little bit earlier, some of the things that I suffered and went through would not have happened. And for me, as I look around as a registered nurse, I'm like, gosh, if you'd have found out so much earlier, you wouldn't be in this situation. Today, y'all, we're going to talk about 10 things, 10 signs and symptoms of insulin resistance. So hold on, stick around because some of them you will not even believe that this is actually a sign that you may be going into a deeper condition. If you're tired of sugar cravings, brain fog, fatigue, and all the conflicting health and diet advice, and you just want to know what's happening inside of your body, you're in the right place. I'm Tashawn Davis, holistic health coach, registered nurse, and metabolic health educator. I help you break sugar cravings through balanced blood sugar so you can take your health back naturally. So grab your favorite sugar-free drink, pop in those earbuds, and let's learn how to work with our body and not against it. Y'all, I am so passionate about what I teach because I've seen the results. So I've created many resources for us to take and share with people we love. Many people may not listen to podcasts. My average client for a while was 72 years old. And the biggest thing that I could do was give them visuals. So that's why I've written 2 books, Uproot the Cravings, which is a 21-day sugar detox, and Journal, where there's visuals, and it's just a journal, a 1-page situation where you can just journal and learn one thing at a time. And then I've also written Sugar Deception, where it talks about every system of the body and how sugar affects it. So if you need something to share with your loved ones, just to let them see, hey, just check it out. Maybe there's something to it. These are 2 resources that I've written, and then they're both on Amazon. And also, we have a group called Health Beyond Weight Loss, Insulin Resistance, and Metabolic Health. Sometimes I get those 2 backwards, the insulin resistance and the metabolic health, but look for my name and Health Beyond Weight Loss, and you should be able to find it. Also, if you want to work with me, get a vision call. If I can help you out in any way, visit www.writethevision22.com and see how you can work with me. I have a whole program to help reverse type 2 diabetes. It's a 6-month program, and I would love to coach you through this time. I've seen so many people reverse their type 2 diabetes and many, many things that have to do with insulin resistance. Everything gets better. So I am praying that these resources will help you. And in the meantime, listen to the podcast. So let's get into it. Okay, let me look you in the eyes once again and remind you, what is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance is when your cells stop responding to insulin. Insulin is the hormone that moves sugar out of your body and into your cells for energy. But when we eat a lot of sugar and carbohydrates, over time, the body has to produce more and more insulin, and eventually the cells stop responding. So now we have high insulin and high sugar, and that's when we start to see problems in our body. I hope that makes sense. So even whenever we are eating healthy, quote unquote, see my air quotes, food, if you have a problem with insulin resistance, all healthy food is not good, okay? Because it has to be metabolized through your body. And if you have an issue with too much sugar or insulin in your body already, even a cracker can cause you to have more issues. Even a potato, even rice, even the great quinoa. The issue is not just it's made from the ground. God made it, all the things. This is true. I don't disagree with that. But when you have issues in your body that's pointing to certain things that could cause your body to break down even more, we have to pay attention to that. So I had a patient, a diabetic. She had been a diabetic for years. The doctor gave her more insulin. She went to see a endocrinologist, is the doctor who deals with high blood sugar, and she went to a class to learn how to eat correctly. After all of that, her blood sugar still remained in the 200s. She ended up having a diabetic coma in the middle of the street, spinning around in her scooter. Y'all, after all of that education, after everything that she learned, and she followed it. I know that she followed it because when I met her after having this incident where she was found in the middle of the road, and her son is a chef, and he would do anything to make sure that his mom got well. So they were doing all of the things that they were taught. But the main thing that stuck in my mind to remind me that people are being miseducated and we're babying major issues. And so she was told everything in moderation. You could eat the rainbow, this and that. You're a diabetic. You can't eat the rainbow. You can't do everything in moderation. The same as if you were an alcoholic. You cannot just have the little drink. It's not going to hurt you. You need to cut it. And I know that this sounds harsh and it sounds against everything that many of the influencers and people say nowadays. You don't have to try to do it, and you da 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 da. Okay, yes, if you're not suffering with insulin resistance, take it and go slow. But I urge you, in your going slow, go progressive. Everything we do, we need to do it one thing at a time, too. I feel like a lot of people also, I need you to get out there and walk. I need you to get out there and cut your calories. I need you to do all of this. In the simplicity of my plan, there is simplicity. You do one thing. As long as you're nourishing and feeding your cells, you can eat until you're full. I don't ever want you to eat and have a deficit. And we'll get to that later. But there is so much to know about insulin resistance. It's not the disease of the weak. 93% of us suffer with metabolic health issues. And so if 93% of us are unwell, then we need to address the issue, okay? Diabetes is the number one cause of heart disease and death in heart disease. So we have to address the root problems. Diabetes is associated with so many things. And what's the root of diabetes? Insulin resistance. So let's talk about some things that are signs of insulin resistance. And as I go through this list, hey, see yourself. Where are you? Remember, my story was I was losing my memory. I could not remember. It was normal at the beginning. Okay, I could go into a room. Oop, what did I come in here for? Walk back out. And then before I even got to where I was going, I could remember, okay, this is what I went in here for. But then it came to a point to where I could not remember. You don't want to get there because guess what? What if nobody tells you? Like right now, we're going through an issue where we're noticing my mom losing some of her memory. And we're able to tell her, but what if you're by yourself? What if you don't see what you're doing? Catch this thing early. Insulin resistance of the brain, type 3 diabetes is what many experts are calling it. And there are so many experts nowadays that are actually getting people better and reversing any neurological condition, especially memory issues. So let's just hold on to that. Put that on the back burner because that's why this show is here. I have so much to teach about, so much to talk about, and I'm passionate about it. From my own life stories to patients who I've seen getting better, or to patients who got worse because of their diet and because they wanted to do everything in moderation. They wanted to have the freedom. They wanted to, but I tell you what, freedom comes when you know that this here, I will not trade my brain for a donut. Listen, I'm too good, y'all. I don't eat sugar. My body don't like sugar. I get a little bougie with it because why not? This is my life. If comfort is found in food, then we're putting our comfort in the wrong place. I know that there are some things called comfort food, but in Christ, He's your only comfort. So let's put it in the place where it belongs. That's why I wrote the book, Uproot the Cravings, so that we could go through this 21-day journey with God and find out, like, ooh, I have an addiction to sugar. Many people won't admit. They're like, yeah, I got an issue with this, I got an issue with that. But many people will not admit, I have an issue with sugar. Sugar is hard. I can tell my patients all day long, why don't you go vegetarian or vegan? Would I never say that? But I could tell them that, and they're good, but I tell them to cut the sugar and carbs. What am I supposed to eat? And it just is like a trigger, and I could see it every time. So I know that there is an issue, and I'm sorry that we're going through this. But listen, it's good to do hard things. We can get through this. You don't have to suffer with disease processes because your body won't listen to you tell it you don't need this. So anyhow, I was going to be talking about insulin resistance and what that means. So insulin resistance and some of the signs and symptoms, okay, y'all? So brain fog, we already know. Yes, we get a lot of brain fog. Tired after eating. Why? Because our blood sugar has taken a hit. We've ate the potatoes and the rice, and most of our plate was filled with carbohydrates. And so now insulin that we normally make in our body has come out to correct that, to try to use the energy in the cells. But our cells are so full, remember, that it cannot be used appropriately. So we're tired. This insulin is just hanging out like, okay, we got to find something. And then it also stores it as fat. Whenever the sugar cannot be used, it's stored as fat. So fatty liver, y'all. Fatty liver is another one because insulin, when it can't be used, it's stored as fat and unfortunately in the liver. Whenever you have something called visceral fat is the fat that surrounds your organs. That's the worst fat that comes from an excess amount of sugar and carbohydrates. Sugar cravings. Whenever we crave an excess amount of sugar, it causes us it's because of the sugar begets sugar. I want more sugar. You got to feed the beast. Anybody remember the play Little Shop of Horrors? Feed me, Seymour. That's kind of what's happening with your body whenever you are in sugar mode. Like, I want more. And even other things can cause this to happen, but later in later episodes. Skin tags. Yes, y'all. Skin tags. If you have skin tags, that is a sign of insulin resistance due to chronic inflammation. Dark skin around your neck or your arms. This is another episode, but it's got a name, and that's one of the symptoms. High blood pressure. Y'all, that's the first symptom. Before you even are diagnosed with diabetes, high blood pressure is often the first sign. And it comes from different reasons. It's the chronic inflammation inside of your cells, but it's also because a hormone, aldosterone, is not regulating the sodium correctly. High triglycerides. So many people want to look at the LDL and they want to look at and I'm going to have a heart attack. High triglycerides are worse because it tells you how many sugar and carbohydrates that you're eating, and it is often the indicator that you will have a heart attack. Your numbers have to be the ratios to triglycerides and to HDL is more important than anything. So we have to pay attention. PCOS. Remember, insulin is a hormone. A hormone is meant to come in and go out and do what it needs to do. But when it's constantly out, it sets on other hormones and it doesn't allow these hormones to regulate well. So a person with PCOS, their hormone is disrupted. There's more. I can do a whole episode on this. There's a lot to know. Always hungry because you get that spike after eating the carbs and sugar, and then you come down rapidly. It depends on what you eat, but a lot of times every 2 hours we have to eat because we have to replenish it. Our body expects for us to use sugar and carbs for energy when it prefers us to use fat because fat burns better. We'll get into that as well. Frequent urination because your body is trying to excrete, get rid of all of the sugar and carbs that we've eaten, frequent urination, and number 10, the yeast infection, because the sugar, like yeast loves sugar. It's like, give me more, eat, eat, eat. And so, yeah, those are 10 things. So, where did you find yourself in these 10 things? Where did you find you're like, whoa, that's a sign? I got this skin tag. That's a sign that I've been told I had fatty liver. I thought I had to cut the fat. My blood pressure, I thought I had to cut the salt. Listen, it's deeper than what we think. And it's important that we understand. That's why this show exists. That's why this show exists, because I want us to understand. I don't want us to keep running from here to there. My favorite influencer said to do this and this worked for them. We have no idea really what people are doing. But when we know the physiology of it and the why it might work, listen, you're on a road to success. There is nothing that can be placed in front of you that will cause you to stop doing and being that good steward of your body that you need to be. Because the harvest, y'all, this harvest, this thing that we have to do for the Lord is so important in this hour. We have to work while it is day, because when night comes, nobody can work. And sometimes, y'all, that night comes in the form of sickness. So I just want to let you know, insulin resistance started about 10 years ago. These signs that you see started about 10 years ago. So what you can do, y'all, you can ask your doctor now for certain labs that will let you see what is going on in my body. Fasting insulin, which I didn't say fasting blood sugar. I didn't say A1C, though I want you to get those. Insulin, a fasting insulin, it tells you how much insulin is needed in your body to keep your blood sugars down. So a lot of people brag, yeah, I eat anything I want and my blood sugar is low, but I have all of these other symptoms and they've never had a fasting insulin checked. A HCRP, it tells you the inflammation rate that is in your body. You need to get those HDL and triglycerides checked. And for more labs and even what's happening with your heart and everything, don't forget I have a book. It's called Uproot the Cravings. That's that 21-day sugar detox and devotional. And then I also have Sugar Deception, which talks about how sugar affects every system of the body. And with that, all these labs, all of these suggestions, everything's in these books. I also have that Facebook group, y'all, that I put infographics so you can visually see these things. And I even have videos and all kind of things. So don't forget to join Health Beyond Weight Loss, Metabolic Health, and Insulin Resistance. It's a free Facebook group. And also know that if any of this gets a little confusing or you're like, I can't do this on my own, I've tried. WriteTheVision22.com is the website. Everything is in the show notes. Work with me. Come and do a free 15-minute call so you can see, what can I do? You can also start reducing sugar. Do the one thing. If you really have a sugar tooth, get rid of sugar. Try to do the one thing. So you might eat a banana every morning. Try to eat an avocado instead. You might really eat like donuts and stuff in the morning. Try a chaffle. There's recipes for chaffles on the group. Reduce processed foods. Try to eat nothing in a box. If it has a label and that label is more than 2-3 things, eat nothing in a box. If it's beef, it should say beef. Swap out your drinks. If you're a soda drinker, a pop drinker, a juice drinker, that's the number one thing that people don't realize, I believe, getting into that pop. So definitely get rid of that. What is the one thing that you can do this week to get you closer to understanding my body needs a break? I need to bring my insulin down. That's called making your body more insulin sensitive. So we have to do these things. We want to do these things. Another thing, y'all, we always want to make sure that we get understanding, okay? I said this in the last episode, and all you're getting, get understanding. The Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge. So come on over, y'all. Visit us at the Health Beyond Weight Loss page. Go ahead and pick up some of the books on Amazon or send me an email. Let's talk 101. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it leaves you with more insight and the knowledge and ability to go forth and do all that God has called you to do in good health. Remember, I am praying for you. Alrighty, my friend. If this episode has helped you understand your body a little bit better and helped you have the confidence to make better informed healthcare decisions, share it with someone you know who may be struggling with sugar cravings, brain fog, or fatigue, because they may not even realize that blood sugar could be the reason. And also leave a review because it really helps more people find this. Remember, the goal is to reverse 1 million type 2 diabetes in my lifetime. And as always, I want to remind you the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. And some people are fighting every day just to have the health and energy to live their everyday life that they were called to live. So I am praying for your health. I am praying for your strength, and I'll see you on the next episode.